Attention Commanders Nation! Bobby Wagner, the veteran linebacker who has been a tackling machine, is at a crossroads with the team. His future in Washington hangs by a thread, and the decision made could change the course of our defense. Time is running out and the tension is mounting every minute. But that's not all. Osa Odigizua, the defensive tackle who is destroying quarterbacks in Dallas, is on Washington's radar. The connections with Dan Quinn are obvious, and the numbers? Just ridiculous. This move could shake the entire defensive line like never before. And hold on, because this is amazing. Mike Sainristil is silencing critics and exceeding expectations. The experts underestimated him, but he is proving to be a GM no one saw coming. His impact in the secondary alongside Marshawn Lattimore is being brutal. Don't miss a single detail of these explosive news that are revolutionizing the Commanders. Give a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because this is just the beginning. The next season is coming with everything and you need to stay informed. You won't believe this. This is amazing. Bobby Wagner? The same Bobby Wagner that many doubted when he arrived in Washington? Let me tell you something, family. This man didn't just silence critics, he locked their mouths with a padlock. Do you want the truth? Here it is straight from your guy. Wagner didn't just deliver, he exceeded all expectations. 13 consecutive seasons with over 100 tackles? Second team All-Pro? Come on! What are we talking about here? Let me ask you something. How many 33-year-old linebackers do you know who can maintain this level of play? I tell you, you can count them on one hand. And you might have fingers left over. But wait, this isn't just about numbers. Do you know what really impresses me? The leadership. That intangible factor that doesn't show up in the stats. Wagner came in and transformed that locker room. Just like that. Now, let me be brutally honest with you, letting Wagner go would be a colossal mistake. Do you know why? Because you wouldn't just lose an elite player, you'd lose the heart and soul of that defense. And here's my question to you, Commanders family, how much would you be willing to pay to keep Wagner? Because let me tell you something, you need to open the wallet. This isn't just any player, he's an institution. My opinion? The Commanders need to retain Wagner. It's not an option, it's a necessity. And if anyone in the front office thinks differently, I ask you, are you really thinking about the team's best interest? And now I leave you with this question to ponder. Do you think there's any linebacker available in free agency who can replace everything Wagner brings to the team? I think the answer is crystal clear. I want to know what you think about this situation. Retain Wagner at any cost or look for other options? Listen up! The Commanders are in a privileged position with nearly $100 million in cap space. And you know what? I think Dan Quinn is cooking up something big, very big. Let me put it in context for you, because this is crucial. We have Osa Odigizua, a defensive tackle making noise in Dallas. And I ask you, do you know why he's so special? 60 total pressures. Third in the entire NFL. We're not talking about just any player, folks. But wait, because it gets better. Dan Quinn knows this guy. He worked with him in Dallas, and let me tell you something. When a coach wants to reunite with a former player, it's for a reason. And I think Quinn sees Odigizua as the future of our defensive line. Now, let's get to the complicated part, and I need you to pay close attention. Jonathan Allen, our Pro Bowler, the man who has sweated the Commanders jersey since 2017. Do you know how much we could save by releasing him? $17 million. And I ask you, is this the time to make tough decisions? Let's analyze Odigizua's numbers, because numbers don't lie, they never lie. 4th in quarterback hits, 5th in pressures, 12th in sacks and tackles for loss. And he's only 26 years old. And you know what else? Our loss to the Eagles exposed a painful truth. We need more power in the trenches. And I'm not the only one saying it. The results say it, the game says it, the field says it. Now, let me be completely honest with you. Adam Peters, our new GM, didn't come to Washington to maintain the status quo. This man has a vision, and I think he's willing to make bold decisions to take this team to the next level. And you know what else intrigues me? The chemistry. Quinn surrounding himself with people who know his system. We saw it this year with the coaching staff, and it worked. We made it to the NFC Championship for the love of football. Why not continue with that formula? But here comes my boldest prediction. If the Commanders sign Odigizua, we wouldn't just be getting a replacement for Allen, we'd be getting the missing link for our defense. A player who can pressure the quarterback, stop the run, and knows Quinn's system like the back of his hand. And now, let me ask you, are you ready to see Jonathan Allen leave if it means bringing in new blood? Do you trust Quinn and Peter's vision to rebuild this defense? Do you think Odigizua could be the X factor we need to reach the Super Bowl? But wait! Before I finish, you need to understand something. This move could define the next decade of our franchise. It's not just a player change, it's a change of philosophy, mentality, identity. Remember when everyone was talking only about Jaden Daniels? Well, let me tell you we had another gem shining on our team, Mike Sainristil. And let me tell you why this guy has me speechless. Do you know what's the most amazing thing about all this? The experts said he was too small, that he would only serve as a nickel. Ha! And I ask you, where are those experts now? Because this small cornerback is dominating in the NFL. But wait! Because it gets better. We got Sainristil in the second round, pick number 50. And you know what? I think we just made the steal of the draft. The steal of the century. Let me tell you something that has me astonished. This guy didn't just win the starting slot cornerback position. He had to move to the outside. And do you know what he did? He adapted like a champion. When others would have crumbled, he rose. And it's not just me saying it. Listen to what Jeremy Chin, our safety, says. He's a star. A star, folks! Chin says he plays bigger than he is, that he's aggressive, that he has vision. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Look at these numbers. Look at them closely. 76 solo tackles, third among all cornerbacks in the league. He only allowed 60.4% of passes completed in his direction. And I ask you, isn't this what we needed in our secondary? But here's what excites me the most, and I need you to pay attention. When Marshawn Lattimore is fully adapted, can you imagine that cornerback duo? My God! Dan Quinn and Joe Wood Jr. must be rubbing their hands together. And you know what's the best part? This guy's mentality. He doesn't settle. He doesn't relax. He always wants more. And I think that's exactly the attitude we need to build a dominant defense. Adam Peters, our GM, deserves a standing ovation. Because finding talent like this in the second round, that's having an eye. That's knowing football. But now I ask you, do you realize the potential we have here? Do you understand that this is just the beginning? Because let me tell you something, if our defense keeps strengthening like this, 2025 is going to be an explosive year. And here comes my boldest prediction. Mike Sainristil is not just going to be good, he's going to be a superstar. Mark my words, family. This guy is going to be one of the most feared cornerbacks in the NFL. What do you think? Are you as excited as I am about the future of our secondary? Do you think Sainristil and Lattimore can form one of the best cornerback duos in the league? Commanders family! Today we discussed crucial topics for our team, and I want to hear your voices because you are a fundamental part of this community. The Bobby Wagner situation has us all thinking, is it worth making a big investment in a proven veteran, or should we explore younger alternatives? His experience could be the missing factor, but the cost is considerable. Speaking of defensive changes, the case of Jonathan Allen and the possible arrival of Odigizua represents a decisive moment. Do you trust that Dan Quinn is making the right decisions to evolve our defense? And what about that potential explosive duo in the secondary? Can Sainristil and Lattimore become that dominant pair we so desperately need? If you love the Commanders as much as I do, I invite you to join this family. Like this video, turn on notifications, and subscribe so we can continue living the passion for our team together. Your comments are essential to keep this growing community alive day by day. And remember, hail to the Redskins!